Hi, friends. It's a rainy day. I'm breaking out. I'm just getting over a very nasty cold, which has blessed me with a terrible lingering cough. But the show must go on. So I wanted to welcome all of you to the first episode of Live, Laugh, Love Life. That is a mouthful of a name, but I've went through so many and I just give up. I wanted to think of something that just sort of encompassed everything that this podcast is going to be, which is me talking about anything I want. So it doesn't really have a set topic, which is part of the reason why it was so hard for me to come up with a name. Anyways, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Clara, and you're listening to, as I said, Live, Laugh, Love Life. For this episode, I thought I would do a get to know me style. So I wrote down about 15 random facts about myself in this notebook, if I can get it open with one hand. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I have them right here. I'm sorry about the computer on my lap. I need like a longer cord to connect my microphone, but we'll figure that out. It won't be here most other times, just for today. Okay, I just wanted to do this, get to know me as the first episode. You can listen to it, you don't have to, but I figured since this is my first appearance ever on the internet that it might be helpful. So people actually want to listen to me talk. It might be helpful if they know who I am, even just a little bit. But these aren't my traditional favorite color, where I live, how old am I, what do I want to be when I grow up, those sorts of things. These are more random things that I've told people in real life, and they've been either very interested, very curious, or shocked. Let's get started. So, number one, I have a very strong aversion to fruit. And by fruit, I mean pretty much the entire food group. There are two exceptions, dried cherries and applesauce. So I will eat both of those things. And then past that, there are sort of levels, I would say, to how much of an aversion I have. Fruits that I can be around without gagging, feeling like I'm gonna throw up, or wanting to cry, scream, all of those things. I would say grapes are fine, blueberries are fine, apples are okay, and like if I need to touch them, like absolutely necessary, I'm not gonna like throw a fit about it. It won't be the end of the world. But if I stepped on it, I would freak out a little bit. It's like if I step on like a piece of broccoli, I love broccoli, fine, like a little gross, but fine. If I step on a grape and it like squishes, my day is ruined, my week is ruined, my month is ruined, my year is ruined. That's not okay. Past that, so that's like first tier, not that bad. Pretty much everything else, anything with a really strong smell, I cannot be around it. Bananas, even like peaches, pineapple is really bad. Oranges, clementines, any of those, oh my gosh, I can't. I can't do it. And by aversion, like I won't touch it. I can't watch someone else eat it. It can't be in front of me. And I've gone pretty much my whole life with this. When I was a baby and really, really little, I believe I was allergic to citrus, and I did grow out of that allergy, but after that, I don't think I ever really touched a piece of fruit again. But I wasn't allergic to strawberries or blueberries. Strawberries is another one. Those are really bad for me. I just can't handle it. And I don't even think the allergy is really what caused it. Because, like, after that, I drank lemonade. I don't really anymore, but that's for another reason. So that's just a really weird thing about me. It's kind of unfortunate because fruit is very popular around the world. And most of these I haven't even tried. Yeah, I fear I haven't even tried most of the fruits that I like won't even dare go near. It's like a weird brain, like mental block. I don't even know how to explain it, but everyone around me knows I hate fruit. Okay, number two. I wrote this down as I'm a roller coaster junkie. My mom says coaster head. I'm not sure if that's a real term, but if it is, then I'm a coaster head. But I only like certain types of roller coasters. I just didn't feel like researching the different types of forces that I know there's like positive and negative G forces, I think, and one of them makes you feel like you're pinned against the seat and the other makes you feel like you're lifting off and floating out of the seat. I like the one where you're flying out of the seat. I hate the one where you're pressed back in your seat. So I do love thrill rides. If I were to give some roller coaster recommendations for people who really love roller coasters, I would say there's one at Six Flags Great America, which is in Illinois. It's called Raging Bull. I have never felt happier in my life, I don't think, than on that roller coaster. I just sincerely felt like I was flying. So that was a really good one. The most intense roller coaster I think I've ever been on would be Velocicoaster, and that is in Universal Studios in Florida. That one is like, it has everything. It has upside down, it has a couple corkscrews. For the most part, it's just lots of hills. It's fast, it's fun, it goes over the water. I'm sure the lines are crazy long, but I would put that in the category of definitely worth the wait. There's some more unique ones that I enjoy. Incredicoaster at Disneyland and also Space Mountain. Those I like for different reasons. Incredicoaster, I love The Incredibles. It's Incredibles themed. It's all like open air outside, so pretty much the complete opposite of Space Mountain. But the thing that's really cool about it, it has the characters' voices incorporated in the ride. So you do go through tunnels and it has these flashing lights and stuff. And you're on like a mission to catch Jack Jack or something. I think he stole cookies, if I remember correctly. So that's a really fun one if you're there for like the experience, which I can assume you are if you're going to Disneyland. And then I said Space Mountain also, specifically the one at Disneyland. Hot take, Disneyland is better than Disney World. Maybe I'll do an episode on that sometime. But for now, just sticking to Space Mountain, the reason that I like that one so much is not necessarily the big thrill. Like, there's not a ton of big hills or really crazy stuff on it. But I just find it really fun to not be able to see the tracks. And you can if you're looking really hard. But I just look at the stars, look at the decorations, close my eyes sometimes, take a little nap, and just not knowing where exactly you're going. So your body doesn't know what to expect. And then all of a sudden you're like jerked one way or another, or you're going down or you're going up. It's just a fun surprise. And you're like, woo, what's going on? So that's fun for me. I do have to shout out Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure at Universal. I don't know, I can't really pinpoint what I liked so much about it. I think it's one of those magnetic ones where it launches you and then slows you down and launches you again. And there's one really special part. It's the only coaster I've ever been on where there's a part where they just drop you down a level. And I love that stuff too. Anything that gives you butterflies in your stomach, I'm completely here for it. Okay, number 3, I wrote that in general, I don't like movies. So when I say I don't like movies, I mean if there's a movie night, if someone's asking me to come watch a movie with them, I'll either say no, I'll be there and be on my phone, or I'll be there talking over the movie the entire time, talking about how bad it is and how I can predict everything that's going on. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I know that's bad, and a lot of people, including members of my family, really hate that. And I have actually had my mouth taped shut during some movies. That's how bad it's gotten. So I apologize. Really sorry for that. If you've ever watched a movie with me, I am so sorry. But I don't think I can change because I just don't like them. And that's the truth. Everyone knows it. I don't like movies. Sorry, I was coughing so much I had to grab my water. Anyways, where was I? I hate movies, but there are, of course, exceptions to that. If I had to give some movie recommendations as a certified movie hater, I would have to say most recent one that I watched that I feel like I really liked was King Richard. The reason I like that and movies similar to that sort of genre is because they're movies like based off of a true story. And King Richard is about Serena and Venus Williams' father and their upbringing and how he sort of turned them into some of the greatest tennis players that we know. So that was a cool one. It was cool to see how they live their lives. So yeah, I recommend that one, and in general, any movies based off of a true story. If you know any, please let me know. My family likes movies that are, I don't know, adventurous, but I like things that are more like about a teacher teaching a class. There are quite a few of those that I enjoy. Freedom Writers was one of them. Stand and Deliver is another. Any of the ones, and those, I think only one of those is based on a true story if I'm remembering correctly, but just things that seem like slightly more realistic. I also want to be a teacher, so that might be why I like those movies. All right, number 4, I put love singing and I love music. So the big points I want to just add here is, first of all, a lot of people are just born really great singers. I was not one of those people. I was completely tone deaf when I was a child. I could not match pitch whatsoever. So it took really a lot of work and practice for me to even become a half decent singer. So that's that. And then as far as loving music, by that I mean I don't discriminate on genre, on artist. If you put on some music, it's probably gonna be my vibe. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't have preferences, but I don't really hate any types of music. Like classical, love. Movie soundtracks, love. Musical theater, love. Rap, love. Hip hop, like pop, love. Any of it. Country, I can get behind it. Really, none of it bothers me. I can't really think of any artists that I hate. I can find enjoyment in pretty much every song I listen to. That being said, I do, of course, have my favorites. Right now, my favorite artist is SZA. Shout out. Love you, girl. My favorite song of hers, I don't know. There's so many. I love her collabs with Kendrick. I think they work really well together, and they somehow always end up creating music that fits like both of their styles. And you'd think that not necessarily that they wouldn't go together, but it's just hard to picture how that works. But then you listen to their music together and you're like, how does it sound like both of them separately and together at once? Just, I don't know, it works so perfectly. Okay, moving on. So number 5 is my favorite place I've ever vacationed is Nosara, Costa Rica. And the reason for that is it's a blue zone, and that is the first and only blue zone that I've ever visited. I have a strange fascination with blue zones. I think they're so interesting. If you don't know what a blue zone is, congratulations, you're about to learn something new. A blue zone, it's a region where people live the longest. Yes. So there are maybe like 13 or so in the world where it's just like the average lifespan is considerably longer than the areas around it. There are blue zones. I know there are some on the Mediterranean, like Greece, Italy. I think there might be 1 or 2 in California. There's one in Costa Rica, I know. There are some in Japan for sure, and then plenty other places. I just can't think of them. I don't know what they are. But it was a really cool experience for me to go there in Costa Rica because just the way of life is so simple and everyone seems so happy and satisfied and content, and they're all so connected to nature. Their food is fresh. Everyone's smiles are so big. Everyone was so friendly there. And they just all were living life to the fullest. And I really admired that. And it was one of the few vacations where it really felt like I was in a different world and just got a complete break from the life that I'm used to. So, yeah, shout out Nosara, Costa Rica. But if you have the means to travel, anywhere, I definitely recommend a Blue Zone because it just honestly changes your perspective on life. And it's a real, true escape, and you'll meet some great people, and it's just a fun time. Okay, number 6. I'm the oldest sibling and cousin on both sides of my family. So that means firstborn child to my parents, obviously, and then the first grandchild on both my mom and dad's side. That comes with a lot, obviously, and I'll definitely do an episode on how being the oldest in my family has affected me, but there's not really much for me to say past that right now. I have 2 younger siblings and then only 4 cousins, so some people might consider that a small family, some people might consider that a big family. It's like pretty medium. It's definitely not a big family. I honestly wish I had more cousins and more siblings, but I love the ones that I do have, so I'm just grateful for them. Number 7, I'm terrified of rodents. So mice, rats, squirrels, and chipmunks are fine because I have to live with them every day. We see each other outside. I'm like, what's up? I won't hit you with my car. You won't, I don't know, give me rabies. And that's an agreement we have. Big birds, also terrified of big birds. And by big, I mean any bird the size of a pigeon or larger. So that makes going to cities really difficult because I've found cities either have pigeons or the blackbird that are slightly larger. They're either crows or ravens. I don't know how to tell the difference. I'm not sure which is which, but I found you can't go to a city without it either being totally infested with some type of bird, and I hate that so much. Thankfully, out here in the woods where I live, it's mostly smaller birds and then hawks, of course, but they're not getting too close to me. The bigger birds, they stay further up in the sky, so that's great. But when they're down on the ground, like an ostrich, I mean, there's no time I would ever see an ostrich, I hope, but we do have turkeys, though. Hate turkeys. Oh my gosh, I hate turkeys. They're terrifying. I can't explain it. They're so scary. And then also terrified of needles. I have stories about all of these fears, and when I say terrified, I mean my reaction is pure hysteria. So that's screaming, crying, sobbing, running. I mean, all 3 of them, actually. So, not fun, but it is what it is. Number 8. My favorite food is green peas. That's just weird. And that's not trying to like flex, like, haha, my favorite food is healthy. It's just genuinely the truth. Since I was a baby, my nickname as a little baby, like in a high chair, was the pea eating machine because according to my family, they would put green peas like on my high chair tray and I would bend over and shovel them into my mouth. Pea eating machine was one of my first nicknames, and that hasn't changed. For my entire life, I've eaten peas multiple times a week. And I wouldn't say my favorite, even as in it brings me the most enjoyment to eat them. They're just like a true safe food, something that I've never gotten sick of. I don't think I ever will get sick of. I'll eat them with anything. I'll eat them whenever. First thing I eat when I wake up, last thing I eat before I go to bed, doesn't matter. Anything in between, a little snack, only thing I eat all day. That's not what the episode's about. I do have things to say about my relationship with food, but that will be coming another time. Okay, number 9. This was about my hobbies. I love nature photography, and I'm also been getting into coloring lately. Not drawing because that's too stressful, but coloring. I just find it relaxing. I have this adult coloring book that's all mandalas right now, and I've been really into that one. I've been trucking away, getting them done. So it's going to be done soon, and I'm going to have to find a new one. So if any of you have coloring book recommendations, please let me know. Okay, number 10. I wrote collections, but then I crossed everything out except for earrings. So I guess we're talking about my earrings. I do have to say I have gotten like paper plate awards about my earrings, tons of compliments. Everyone knows earrings and Clara, they go together. If you see me one day and I don't have any earrings on, something is wrong. And what I mean by earrings, I mean like weird earrings. Right now I'm wearing normal earrings, and I have plenty of normal earrings and very cute earrings and very classy earrings. But I also have some silly, goofy ones that are just bizarre, and I just enjoy wearing them for the fun of it. And I'm sure you'll see them later on. Other days that I'm recording, I'm sure I'll have some on. I can't even pick my favorites, but some examples are like I have mermaid tails, I have avocados. My mom loves, I have like these big lemon slices. Those are fun. I have a chain of rainbow hearts. I also have like literal chains that are rainbows. Lots of stuff. I have water bottles, Sprite bottles, Coke bottles. I'm thinking mermaid tails, donuts, ice cream cones, just really fun stuff. My favorite jewelry though is probably butterfly jewelry and bow jewelry. I was so happy when bows started trending because a couple years ago I had such an urge to wear things with bows, but I felt like it was still regarded as like too little girl. And now that bows are trending, I'm just so excited because I actually get to wear bows without feeling stupid and like I'm going to be seen as like babyish. Okay, number 10. I've never kissed or dated anyone. Wow, way to throw me under the bus. I'll talk about that sometime because I have had like a situationship. And maybe that's normal for people my age. I'm 17, but I feel like all my friends have, or for the most part, have at least kissed somebody or dated somebody. Well, not all of them, but I don't know. Guess it depends who you are. Number 12, I'm an introvert. Why is an introvert starting a podcast, you might ask? Well, because this introvert likes her alone time a little too much and doesn't have anyone to talk to. Yeah, I just love talking, but I also understand my audience, and sometimes I just simply can't talk about the things I want to talk about. So that's why I'm here, because here I can talk about whatever I want, and you guys can control whether you listen or not. So then I pretty much only have people listening to me who want to listen to me, and no one's forced to listen to me. So we're both winning, and that's the best. Number 13 is I hate spending money. I say with my brand new computer and microphone. This was like worth it though, because it's for something that I've been really wanting to do. In general though, I hate spending money on myself, on others, on anything. I just save it all. And maybe it's because I regard my jobs as pretty difficult, and I feel like at least one of them I don't get paid enough to do, but I don't know. There's something deeper there. Haven't gotten to it yet, but in a world of girl math and everybody's consumerism, whatever, I'm over here struggling to buy anything that's over $20. And that's not really a flex. It's not really a good thing because one day I am going to have to be an adult and walk in and spend money and budget and all that. And I don't feel ready for that because, to be honest, I'm just terrified of money in general. I don't want it going anywhere. I don't want it, like, I'm fine with it coming in. I was about to say I don't want it coming in. Then I was like, wait a second. Actually, I do. Bring all the money in. But I don't know. It scares me. It stresses me out. Number 14, I love swing. Swinging was a big part of my childhood. I would be out on the swings for hours. Any playground we ever went to, first structure I'm going to, the swings. The rest of the playground. Swings only. If there was just a swing set like everywhere, I'd be the happiest girl in the world. And I fear that I'm getting to the point where it's not even my age, but my body, like I'm too big for most swings, unless they're like the flat ones. But there's only so many butt sizes that can fit in the swings, if you know what I mean. Actually, I outgrew the swing set that we used to have here at my house. So my parents gave it away, and it was so sad because every day in the summer I've been like, oh, I can go out and swing. And then I'm like, wait, never mind. And the past like couple years that we did have it, even I could only be on there for like 10 minutes before it was squeezing the heck out of my thighs and it hurt. So that was really unfortunate and too bad. But if you have swings and you're still small enough to use them and you can fit in them, take advantage because you can actually outgrow swings, apparently. And if you know of any swing sets that you can't outgrow, please let me know because that might be the only thing I'll spend my money on. Haha, that was a joke. Wasn't it funny? Okay, number 15. Oh, this is cute. It's a nice little future thing to end on. I want to be a mom via adoption. Obviously, not right now. I'm 17. But when I'm older, I've always wanted to be a mom. I kind of figured that I'd want to do it via adoption. Reason one, don't want to be pregnant. But main reason, discovering that I'm, in fact, for the girls. Yeah. Nope. I will not ever be dating a man. That's also definitely going to be another episode. Clara's going to be a mom. Watch out, guys. Okay, that concludes the Get to Know Me episode of Live, Laugh, Love Life with me, Clara. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please follow this podcast, leave a review. If you're on YouTube, you can like, subscribe. You can comment, I believe, on Spotify and YouTube also. Hopefully, we'll have the video version up on Spotify as well, but I'm not sure. I'm not very good at technology, so we'll see how this goes. But please bear with me, and I hope to see you guys all next week. Have a good one.